I just want to welcome everybody on the platform. Welcome Kabiwo, welcome our guests. Every invited guest, you're all welcome to this session, Thursday session of Canada Virtuous Women. We have a special treat today, different from usual ones that we always have. I am going to pass it on to our head girl, who is going to introduce to us the guest speakers, for it is a different kind of treat that we're going to have today. So I will hand over to our head girl, who will introduce the speakers and give us a little bit of background on how the night is going to roll. So Ma Ade Ijang, the floor is yours. Help us and introduce our guests for tonight. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Sorry, just bear with me. Something is not right with my screen. Hang on. Move pin. Okay. Perfect. Okay. All right. Welcome, everybody. Thank you so much. I thought we would just continue from there. Welcome. Tonight we're going to be having a conversation with some beautiful, clean girls. Like we said, it's a clean girls workshop, just talking and having to have a conversation as to how we keep it clean. Now, the speakers for tonight are carefully chosen. It is not a mistake that we picked them. And so I want each and every one of us to just be blessed and learn from them. And I bet you by the end of this day, you would be able to have picked up something, because it's not an easy thing when you are a mother and you have young kids, you have 3, 4 kids running around, and you're still able to keep your home clean. And so tonight we're talking to women that have done it, women that have been there and are there and still keeping their homes really clean. And so we want to hear what their secret is. What is it that they do? What special things do they do to keep these houses clean when you have little children running all around the place, and you can have other girls come to your house and say, this woman is very neat. And so I'm going to bring us Mommy Ruth, our very own Mommy Ruth, and Stella Binder or Stella Binder, however we call them, 2 cute girls. Welcome, welcome. Ruth is not a stranger in this house, neither is Stella. So we're going to bring them on tonight and just have a conversation with all of them. And feel free, if you have questions for them, you can always raise your hand or you can throw it in the chat. But I want them to actually have a conversation. So you girls take it away.
Okay, Stella, we have to. Stella, start.
You guys are on YouTube and you guys are in the air, so.
We're live. All right.
Dr. Ijang, I want to thank you for this opportunity to be here.
Okay, I think she has something. I think she has a glitch, something
in her network. Maybe.
Yeah.
You all are doing.
We didn't get you, Stella. I think there was a glitch somewhere. I don't know. So could you repeat, please?
Sorry, my internet was just saying it's unstable. So no, I was just saying thank you to Auntie Ijang for having me here today, and for all of you all, the amazing women and all the amazing work that you're doing. Say it. And my prayer is that today we'll all be able to learn from one another, just tips or best practices on how we can keep and maintain our homes clean.
Absolutely.
Like
Ruth.
Stella said, I just want to thank my Jung for this platform. It's been a while, and I don't take it for granted. Thank you so much for giving us this opportunity to share, because I want to say, like a learning session where we are going to exchange, and it's not like we have it all. It's not like we know it all, but we're expecting that by the end of this session, everybody's going to leave with something new or something that is going to like rekindle a fire or, motivate them once more to go back to some things that they had abandoned or so. So that's our main goal here today, to just encourage mothers and then bring up some tips or some challenges and stuff like that. So
hand them. Yeah. Yes.
well, what is they missing?
So basically, we don't have anything like set on stone. We really do think it's gonna be best if
We
the
do it
session is
interactively.
interactive.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. So I'm
interactive
gonna
and
open the conversation so that we can just flow from there, because I want it to actually be like a conversation or like a fireside chat.
Mm.
They may say, Mama Miru, you're asking one, they may say that for those who don't know, if you don't know, for your information, Stella is Ndeme's little sister. Just so, just so you know, that's our beautiful yoga sister. So just so you know, everybody. So yeah. So one of the things that I know about you girls is about cleanliness, and that you have kids. You have kids. Normally, when people have kids, you would see, when you get into their houses, you will see this one is here, this one is here. They have their dress on the chair. They are jumping here. I would say, and I'm going to speak a lot about you, Ruth, because I've had so many encounters with you and opportunities where your kids have been in my house here. One of the most interesting things that I noticed one day when you brought your kids here, three of them, I think we just had a party in this house, and when we finished, we took down the balloons and just put them at one corner. Every child, when they get into somebody's house, they see a balloon, they will not even ask for permission to go touch those balloons. And they were just sitting there, very young kids, and they're just sitting there calmly and sat, and they did nothing and just sat there. I don't even know whether you gave them your phone or something, but I was so amazed that they did not touch those balloons. So tonight we're not only talking about cleanliness, but we're talking about how to discipline your children too. That you get into somebody's house, you know that this is not our house, and I don't just have to touch things like that or just see things. Those kids were there for like 2 hours. None of them touched those balloons. None of them dared touch those balloons. And I observed it and I was like, wow. And then at one point, I don't even know what the little Luki did, that you gave him a timeout to go and face the wall. And he stood there on the wall like this and he was crying and he dared not move. And I was like, what kind of thing is this? I was like, what kind of thing? And Luki stood there and he was crying. But because they told him to stand there and face the wall, he was facing that wall for quite some time. And I had to beg his way out until they asked him to come back. Normally, and he was crying, and you will not know that he's crying because he was not yelling. He was just sobbing, that you know that he's crying. So these are some of the things that amaze me about children. And then they sat still. They did not scatter my house like maybe you would see children come. By the time they go, you're fighting to pick this one, you're doing this one, you're doing this one. We're talking about a child that was like Luki was like 3 years old at that time. And they would stay. So my question is, how do you discipline your kids to that extent that they don't scatter things in your house? Or is it that, and this question also goes for Stella, is it that when they scatter, you gather them? Because I've been to your house, Ruth, and your house is in order. It's like I can actually eat on the floor. How do you do that? What is the secret?
Saru, do you want to go first?
Okay. I think it's not just about, for me, I don't know about other people, but I'm like, we are raising kids that we have are going to be exemplary people tomorrow, and we are raising kids in the way of the Lord. The Bible says, train up a child in the way that child should grow up, and when that child is old, they will not depart. So it's not just about cleanliness, it's not just about discipline, but it's not like it's a punishment. But I want them to understand that should be a lifestyle. That even if you're not with me, you should understand that you should respect people's space and you should ask to get what you want. So it's not something that just happens. Kids at times, you don't get it all the time. Don't get me wrong, it's not that you're not going to get it all the time, but there are some rules that should be set in stone. Like, this is not your space. You don't do anything that you just want to do or you feel like doing. You don't just wake up on impulse and start doing things. Understand that this is not your space. There's what you can do in your space, there's what you can do out of your space. So it's all about discipline. That's how I was raised. So it's something that I just want to pass it down to my kids so they understand that it's very important to, because I tell them that if you go to somebody's house, you respect their space. The next time you say you're bringing them over, they'll be happy to have you over. But if you go to somebody's space and you make a mess, next time I don't think they'll really like to have you over. So they just understand that. And like kids, they'll want to come over, especially when they have some snacks and goodies and stuff. So yeah, something like that.
Yes, so to Sister Ruth's point, I think I share the same sentiment. It's really more about well, to begin, kids learn from us, the parents, right? So whatever we do, they learn from us. So if we're able to abide by certain rules from the house, they learn from it, and when they go to other people's homes, they'll adhere to those rules as well. For example, they know to respect space, they know they cannot take things without asking, even in the house. So likewise, if they go to another person's house, they know that they can't just take things without asking. And like my kids know they cannot take food to the bedroom to eat. So likewise, if they go to another person's house, they know they ought not to do the same thing. So I think raising them to abide by certain basic rules, even if they leave your space, they'll adhere to those same rules as well when they go elsewhere.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Vero, because you're doing a good job with the recaps there. Now, as mothers who have young kids, I'm going to start this question with Stella. Mothers who have young kids, and I've heard so much about you, about how your home is always neat, is always clean. At one point, some people think that is OCD. That's why when I was putting the thing on Facebook, I said it's not OCD, it's actually cleanliness. So, so what is the secret? Because even Mommy Oka told me that even when they were in Yaoundé, say if you do not know Stella, you would think that maybe she does not want you to be here because you put something here. By the time you come, Stella has folded it and kept it well. You keep this thing here. By the time you come, even a cup, Stella has removed it and washed it because you cannot even leave it in the sink or something. What is that? Let me know, please.
Yeah, I know. Even Ndeme tells me the same thing. At some point, she's like, "Stella, you have to pray. I think you're sick. You need to pray." I'm like, I'm just very okay. So, like to my point earlier, I believe everything begins from the upbringing, right? So, like my mom was that kind of very neat and organized woman. So I think I took it from her, and then I exceeded. So I exceeded because like my mom, she was very neat, very, very clean, very picky on like clean spaces. So I think I got that, and then it just got a bit too much. So like when with my kids, for example, there are certain rules that we adhere, all of us in the house from daddy. There is no dirty plate in the sink policy. So that's even like from daddy, right up. Daddy eats, he will wash his plate, or maybe he will call one of the kids to wash it. Like we do not leave dirty plates in the sink under no circumstances. So everybody knows that. Everybody knows that you cannot take food to your bedrooms or take food downstairs. It's a rule. Well, obviously, except for me when I love my breakfast in bed, so I'm exempted from that rule sometimes. But the standard rule is like no food in the bedrooms, no food anywhere. Like you eat in the dining section, in the kitchen area, and that's it. So, and we all abide by those rules. So I think it kind of like makes things a little easy for me, and more so, and the kids also know not to. It gets me upset when places are not organized. it ruins my day. It ruins my day. So everybody knows that, and I believe because they see it, they also try to ensure that it stays that way.
So how did you manage to get them to abide to that? Because your kids are really still young. So how did you start training them from the time that they were maybe like a year old or this? Or what did you do that now that they're growing, they've just adapted to that rule to make sure that they maintain cleanliness? Like what do you do? Because you could have your house and before you know a child maybe touched food and touched the walls or this that. How do you do to keep them from doing things like that?
So basically, from when they were babies and we're still living in a little apartment, just kind of like two bedrooms, I made sure that they have like a dedicated child-friendly space where they will play with their toys and no toy leaves that area. So right from growing up, so they know they have this dedicated space, and wherever we found ourselves, even when we eventually bought a home, I ensure that they know that this area of the basement is for them. That's where you have your toys. That's where, so they always have like a dedicated space just for them. Because I think that's where the problem is, right? Because if we don't create that child-friendly space for them, where they know that, okay, this is for us, then you find toys everywhere because they want to take toys to the living room. You've not structured their brain to know that this is where they have to be. This is their space. So I think that kind of helped because along the way, growing up, they just know that, okay, if we come back from school and we eat, we just have to go to the basement where we have our toys and we play and we leave the toys there. We don't bring the toys upstairs. We don't take the toys to the bedroom. So already making them grow with that mentality, it was just kind of like easy.
Wow. That is so good. And how about you, Ruth? What do you do with your kids in order to make them just keep the environment clean? Because every time you come to your house, it's like you just pour some anointing oil on the floor and every place is shiny.
I think mine is it's something like mine is more of spiritual to an extent because to an extent I let them understand that I'm my calling is I'm an intercessor, I'm a prayer person. So if we have to go towards that angle or take that route, I make them understand that look, I need my space to be clean because cleanliness is next to godliness. I need my space clean to create, not because of anything, but for that spiritual discipline. I need it for spiritual discipline. I need for mental clarity. I need my space to be clean for mental clarity, for spiritual discipline, because there is no way because I'm always praying for something, or I'm always speaking in tongues, or I'm always in the mood. And there is something that says godliness and holiness, and then cleanliness. You cannot say you're a prayer warrior and you're living in filth, no matter how much tongues you're speaking. It's just like sleeping on the bed sheet that you haven't changed in a while and you think you have demons chasing you. No demons are chasing you. You don't even need the prayer. You just need to change your sheets. So it's just that kind of thing. For me, it helps me because I'm a prayerful person. It helps me a lot to keep my house clean because there's something that happens when your environment is clean. There's something symbolic about it. There's something spiritual about an atmosphere that is clean because the Bible says that as for me and my household, we shall serve the Lord. Your house is like your sanctuary. If we are keeping our bodies clean, that's the same way we have to keep our houses clean. So that's it for me. It's more of a spiritual thing too. When you look at it from that angle, you will not just respect your space, but you respect your space more because you know that God is in it, and He says that everywhere in a house is like an altar. That's what I tell myself. If everywhere in my house is an altar, and my house is a direct portal to heaven, it means that everywhere in my house has to be clean, because what if something happens, an angel wants to come or has to have a message, and then that thing pushes that message apart. So that's why it's now like a habit, not like punishment, not like suffering, but like a routine, like something that I do as an act of worship and love. Yeah.
And also to avoid some kind of a distraction.
Yeah.
Too many things are hanging around. So to us who have things or stuff all over the place, that have things and books and things all over the place, that it is so dishes on the sink or this and that, or even the kitchen space is not even organized. What would you advise for us? Because I think that we have homes that have cabinets and somehow the space it manages to be too small for us. Whereas where we're coming from, we didn't even have all of those things, but we have too much stuff. Sometimes it is clothes in all over the place because there's nowhere to keep them. And I know that you girls too love shopping and having clothes. How do you keep your dresses, your clothes organized, your kitchen organized? What are some of the tips that you can give us that we can maybe also try to keep our space, our environment tidy up? I mean, like organized and well kept.
So what I can say to that effect is the first thing is we need to learn how to declutter our space. Very important, like declutter, open up your cabinets. Do you have bowls that don't have lids? What are they doing in your cabinets? Get rid of them. Organize the bowls with the lids. Anything without a lid doesn't have to be there because it just fills up your space. Just get rid of it. It has no place there. And another tip that I will share is maintaining an appliance-free kitchen space. I know most of us maybe would love to kind of like display our appliances within our kitchen, but the thing is, it attracts a lot of dirt too because of the dust, and then maybe sometimes when you cook, maybe oil is going to splash on certain appliances. So it kind of like just gives you more work because at the end of the day, maybe you need to take like a set a day to kind of like clean all of that, which is really not necessary if they were all locked up in cabinets and then you just bring them out when you need it. Because once you do that, not only does it prevent you from work, having to clean all of those, but it maintains an airy and clean kitchen space. So that's one other thing that I find very useful when you have no appliances within the view of your kitchen. Just store them. Exactly, store them. Get rid of all those bowls without lids. And then one thing that I always do is, like I already mentioned, if you're cooking, clean. I know my internet is unstable. Can everyone hear me? I don't know because it said it was unstable.
Yeah, we hear you.
Okay.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yes. So one other tip that I can share, especially in the kitchen area, is once we're cooking, clean as you cook. I know for most of us, we'll have the tendency of leaving everything at the end and then having to wash them. And then maybe sometimes by the time you finish cooking, especially with our difficult African meals that take a lot of time, you realize that maybe you're already tired, and then you maybe want to go rest before you come, and then it just leaves the sink and puts the sink in that dirty state. What if somebody comes to your house when you're resting and then everything is chaos? So it would have been a lot easier as you're cooking, you're cleaning. Even if someone comes, everything is clean. It's not even as though you're cooking. So that's also a great tip. And then clean. Ensure that before you sleep at night, the kitchen is free from any dirty plates, and you mop. Like I mop my ground floor at least twice a day. In the morning when the kids leave from school, every morning when the kids leave from school, when they leave for school, everywhere is clean. I put a candle, just have some freshness. It helps me with my mental state. It kickstarts my day with a positive vibe. And then at night, when everybody eats, everybody is going to bed, I ensure that there are no plates in the sink, and I pass the mop real quick. It's not just quick, and everywhere is clean. And I'm waking up the following morning with a very clean space, fresh smell. It just kickstart my day on a high note. So those are some of the tips that I can share in that regard.
You clean twice a day.
Yeah.
Like you mop your floor twice a day.
Yeah. Sometimes even 3 times.
Oh, like where do you get the time? Because you work. That's what I don't get. And then you have kids. That's why I don't get, because some of us we mop like once a week. Oh no. Serious.
She's mopping the area like 5 times. Like seriously. Stella, she takes to this time she's mopping.
No, I don't think. I think that because she doesn't accumulate debt, so she gets to do whatever you think she's doing. And I've seen her do it like in 10 minutes. Like in 10 minutes, she gets everything done. So it's not like she spends all her time, because she's busy. She's an IT engineer. She has a life. She has 4 kids. She has a husband.
Yeah.
So she has a family. But what I have noticed with her is she doesn't accumulate debt. She doesn't leave it for later. She doesn't do procrastination, because that's one thing that distracts us a lot. We keep it and say we'll clean it in the like during the week, or like weekends, or like end of the day. But she just goes along. Like if she has a messy kitchen or something, or people pass, she's just going to pass the mop, and that's going to take her 5 minutes or 10 maximum, because it is always so clean that it doesn't take her that much time to pass that mop. So that's another thing. If we are people who want to keep a clean space, and you're that kind of person, the first thing you have to do is start practicing consistency in cleaning. Don't procrastinate. Just do it in small chunks. Don't keep it like for long or stuff like that. Somebody can think that she's going to take a whole day to know. She does it, and she's like, it's quickly clean, and it's like bullet fast.
Like,
Yeah.
I think, I would like to say that there's no perfect cleanliness or perfect hygiene. It doesn't exist, at least not in this our world. Maybe in an ideal world there could be, but in the world that we live in, there is no such thing as perfect hygiene. I think it's all about being intentional, being consistent, and developing smart habits. Once we do that, we'll prevent a lot of we'll prevent like that time where you have like a dedicated time to say, okay, maybe this Saturday I'm just dedicating it for cleaning. I don't have cleaning days. I don't have cleaning days. I clean on the go. I just clean on the go. If I'm going upstairs and I see that, okay, maybe there's a child that maybe just left like a stain on the wall, it's just easy. Before it gets dry, before you even leave it for the weekend, just grab something. 2 minutes, it's done and dusted.
Done.
I continue my way. You know, if I get into their bathroom and maybe I see they had a shower and they forgot something out, I just put it back, and that's it, I'm out. So like just on the go, if you notice anything, just clean it, and you'll not have a day to say it's a cleaning day.
And you do all of this by yourself?
Like hobby, like Ian does a good job every Saturday. Every Saturday he mops, he does cleaning from the up to the basement. So he does that one big one big cleaning every Saturdays. But I do like I just clean on the go. I just clean on the go, and that's it.
Okay, so what about some of us that have clothes all over the place? Some of us that have dresses all over the place until we don't even know what to do with it. So how do we manage those spaces for dresses?
Clothes all over the place. I will say we should start by taking our clothes as per season. When you look at per season, you know that there's some clothes that there is no way you can wear them during summer. And there's no way you can wear this dress during winter. I get to some houses where you see winter jackets that are there and waiting for the next winter.
Yeah.
So those are some of the things that will really make us lazy. What I do for my kids is I have these big boxes I got from Walmart. So I take clothes out in seasons. I have a box that I put clothes that like smaller clothes or hand-down clothes that I have to give out.
Yeah.
So I know that this blue box, this particular one that has this lid, is just to put out small clothes. So when I see, I wear it on them, and I just put it in the box. And then when it's summer, they have a box. Summer is coming and spring is coming soon. So I'm going to remove everything winter. The ones that are small, I'm going to put it out because I'm going to give it out. And the ones that are for spring, summer are going to be coming out. That way, and you make sure you put the kids' clothes on the hanger. When you start folding, create space. The hanger gives you room for more clothes. The hanger gives you room to have more clothes stuck together than if you fold them. So when you put them on the hanger, I try to make sure that I have that clothes set up 2 weeks. That way the cupboard is not also that stuffy. And then what is left, it's in the box, but that is the box that I know that this is for this season. When this season is over, like winter, you're not going to see some long hand things. You're not going to see all of this kind of clothes that bring heat and stuff. We clear it, put it off, pack it away. Just that is going to give you that mental clarity, that peace in your mind that you have to deal with 20 instead of 40. So that's how we play around it. So maybe it's something that's going to help somebody.
That's really good, because that's really helpful, because my winter jacket stays in the closet there for all through, and then I'll wait for the next winter. I'll just go and pick it up from there. So that is really something I'm learning, which is very good to know, that you can just pack them in a bin, just close them, maybe just put a sticky note on it, that winter jacket, so that when you're looking for it, because there are some of my winter shoes that I don't even know where they are, because I tried to do that sometimes and I don't know where I kept them. So maybe just looking for those big bins from Walmart and just packing all those shoes, winter shoes and jackets in them, label them, just keep them somewhere, maybe in your basement. If you don't have a basement, look for somewhere in your house and keep them there until that season. Because I bet you there are so many winter jackets that just stay in my entrance closet, and the other one.
Is there any space in your closet?
Exactly. 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 And then there are so much shoes at the entrance of my house. Because why? Because there's winter shoes there is summer shoes. Like the other day I was looking for shoes. I'm like, why are these summer shoes here? They should have been kept somewhere waiting for summer, because I'm never going to wear them for a couple of months. So those are some things that we should all learn. And Maggie, you are writing what you're writing in the chat, and I'm reading and laughing, because that's why we're here tonight, to know that, okay, how do you do? It's not because you just came to Canada, actually, because this Stella's thing, I heard that even in Yaoundé University, she was doing it. People that knew her in Yaoundé, she was doing it. So it did not start from today. And mind you, you even have big boys. She has young kids. Her kids are young, and there are 4 of them. Yeah, and so is Ruth with young kids. That's why. Yes, Mama B.
Sorry, I'm cutting you off.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Are you going to get to us to ask questions?
Yeah, no, go ahead.
The way you are enjoying yourself, like I don't know whether you get to us.
Go ahead, Mama B, please.
Okay, no, it's because we are saying something that actually concerns me. I'm listening to Mommy Ruth, I'm listening to Auntie Stella, and I'm telling myself that I don't know. I think you guys have to give us advice for some of us who have bigger children, because with the younger kids, I think it's really you can say stand, and they stand. For the older kids, because I bet you, like right now, I'm living between my living room and my room, because my kids have taken over my kitchen. So there are things I don't know. Sometimes I really get into my house and I'm like, oh my God, where am I? I don't know the kind of advice you can give us, because sometimes when you get into some of their rooms, like my son, you get into my son's room and he will tell you that, mommy, please, I need my space. But there are things, his gym clothes, his things, they are just everywhere, and you get so frustrated. You pray that they should get back to those young age where you could tell them to stand here and they will stand. No, at this point, I really need your advice, because people are saying so many useful things that I'm asking myself, How do I get here?
Well, Mama B, what I can say is like you still remain the mom, right? I mean, like you're still their mom at the end of the day, and fair enough that they're kind of grown, but there are certain rules they still have to abide by some of those rules. If you're maintaining a no dirty plate in the sink policy, they have to adhere to it. If you want the if they eat and you instruct them that you want the kitchen space to always be neat, you know, like maybe just find a way to either reward them, or maybe if you can take away some of their privileges, because like Ian, that's what he started doing with the kids, because he realized that sometimes it was hard for him to get them to do some of the things that he wanted them to do. So what he did was he got an app. He got an app where he could control the times
Mhm.
that they spend on their
gadgets.
phones, on their laptops, and everything. So he knows exactly which size he gives them time, screen time every day. So if they organize their room, they have the right to request for an extra 30 minutes. If they do their homework, they earn an extra 30 minutes. So that way he kind of like gets them to do they're excited to do some of those things because they know they can request for extra time. So I think maybe for the bigger kids, maybe some form of a reward system in place for them might help to act as an incentive for them, especially like, or maybe if you start instituting like no food in the bedroom, like why should they be taking food to the bedroom? Like it just, I mean, it just doesn't, I don't know, it doesn't sit right with me, because you take food, and with the African food, the smell, it just goes to your clothes. That's why sometimes you go to the shopping mall, you see an African pasta and they're just smelling stew. Nice, freshly made stew, or nice smell of food, because we just kind of get everything packed, we're eating in our rooms, and the smell goes to our clothes and all of that. So like I believe if you can just maybe just start baby steps by rewarding them, that might help. And also,
Auntie Stella, we are talking about workers. How do I reward workers?
They have their money.
The thing is, Mama B, the problem is not you're talking about, because Mama B, by nature, you're a very soft-spoken person. Mama B, I've been in your house. Mama B was just like, I say, why, put this thing for here no? Why don't I do so? Mama B is soft-spoken by nature. So when you have workers that you're dealing with, you have to put your foot to the ground.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but you can't give them rewards because they earn their money.
Yeah.
But you have to put your foot to the ground. I have a family here that had to call me to intervene with some of their kids because they were just like, everything was, it's like, it was so nice. They're living la vida loca. And the mother is so short and the boys are so huge and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So they came to my house. They had to do a weekend or so. And Luke was not there. So I had to bring in my military system handed down to me from my father. So they look at me, I look at them face to face. And when I look at them, okay, auntie, that your eye, auntie, just, it's okay, let me remove the plate now. It's okay. Because at some point, we get to the stage where your kids are no longer kids. You can't tell them that you give them candies or stuff.
Yeah.
But they are also as mature enough to know that they are living in your space, in your house, and they are going to abide or they're going to get a house. That they know.
That's right.
So it gets to a point where it's not going to be too soft. It's going to be dialogue.
Yeah.
It's going to be tete-a-tete. We have to, the Bible says, come and let us reason together. Can two work together unless they agree? It can't happen. So for us to organize and stay in this space like brothers and sisters, because now we are no longer mother, father, because you tell me my rights, you read me my rights. I will also have to read you your rights, and then you're the one to figure out if you're going to cope with my rights or you're going to stay in my space and respect my space and know that I am still your mother. So you get to that place where you have to strike a balance, because the Bible says an unbalanced scale is an abomination unto the Lord. For the children that the Lord has given me are for signs and for wonders. As for me and my household, we will serve the Lord. Do you understand? So we have to bring in these principles and let them understand that this is my space. I am your parent and you're going to abide. You're going to make it firm. There's a time when you pass from being soft to being firm, like this is it. It's either this or it's not going to work. So I give you time out. I give you time. Go think about it. Figure out what you want to do. But if you're in my space, this is how it's going to work. That's it.
Yeah. I like what
Thank you so much.
Ruth said about that he said about the family that you intervened in, because something happened a while, I think 2 years back or so, correct me, Adelina Cho, if I'm wrong, when Adelina Cho had a problem with the big girls too in the house. And no, it should be like 2 or 3 years now. And Adelina told me, I said, okay, just bring her here. So sometimes it's good to take them to somebody else, like let them go and spend a weekend or go to somebody else's house. So I'm like, I asked her to come over here, and she came over here, and I said, I heard that you did this. So for that reason, I'm going to give you punishment. And she cannot resist, because true, Adeline too will be soft with the kids and all of that. And they know that I am a no-nonsense taker. So I gave her some work here to do. And I remember at that time, my mother-in-law came here to visit. And then she was working, and she was working with so much anger. You understand? But the way she was doing the work very fast, she finished. She would come and say that I finished. I said, go and do this one. She would do, pop, 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 I finished. I said, go and do this one. Pop, pop, pop. My mother asked me that, whose child is this? She asked me in the dialect, said, whose child is this that is working like this? I laughed because she was working her punishment. And my mother-in-law just thought that she's a hard-working child. You understand? So who has this child that is working like this? I laughed so hard because she was doing punishment, and she was doing it with so much anger that my mother-in-law did not see the anger. She only saw that she was very hardworking, and that, but I was the one changing the jobs, and she was when she finishes, I said, go do this one, go do this one. After that, when she went, I said, never you try it again. So sometimes because in your nature, you're soft-spoken and they're very familiarity breeds contempt, give them to somebody else. Just send them on a weekend or a vacation to somebody else that you know that will discipline them. Like if they spend a week in my house here, by the time they come back, you know, no, that is your child.
That's so true. That's so true.
They'll align.
And there was a big difference at the end.
Yeah. When
Please, Mommy Ruth, I'm sending Kenneth over for a weekend.
Kenneth can't take me play.
Which Kenneth?
Caleb can't take me play. Caleb
you have to start with the first child.
I mean, Auntie Shushu. Caleb will take me play.
You people see my problem now.
Caleb will take me play. He was only me, so Caleb will look me and say, and see the way you abandon me. We are looking good there. You are looking good.
Those ones are husbands. And again, that brings me to something like we talk about people that are clean, or when you have boys in the house, you people are younger mothers, that anybody in the platform can actually answer. What of the situation where you have like big boys in your house, or even your husband, who they always, you know how men will go and mess the toilet, right? Like you try to clean it's always been messed up. Sometimes you just get tired of cleaning. Sometimes you really just get tired of cleaning. Like, what do you do when there are doors like that? Or if it is your spouse that is dirtying after you, what would you do? What would you do when it's your spouse that is actually, because with the kids, you can actually discipline, you can put them on a timeout, you can punish them, you can say this, or you can yell. Now, what would you do if it is the spouse that is always keeping the house dirty, or shoes are all over the place, or clothes are all over the place? What would you do?
And Isha, what I would say regarding that is the fact that I think it's about like communication, right? Communication, and if the other person knows what you're very picky about, and they want to make you happy. Like, for example, Aya knows that if my space is not clean and organized, it's kind of like I just switch off, like it's game over for me. So because he knows that, that's an area that I'm very picky and is important for me, he ensures that it stays at that state that he knows I like. Like even when I go on like work trips or I go on vacation, like the most he can do is to ensure that as I'm opening the door, even if the house was disorganized in my absence, like I don't even know, I don't want to know. But he just ensures that from the moment I'm opening the door, there is nothing hanging anywhere. There are no dirty places in the sink. There is nothing lying around it on the kitchen cabinet. Everything is spot clean because he knows that kind of like it sets the positive energy for me.
Yeah.
As opposed to just coming into a house where it's disorganized, and he knows that, I'm very picky on that. So I think it's just about, exactly, I think it's just about like for as a couple, you know what the other person is picky about, and you know that if you want the other person to be happy, he need to do some of those things. And it goes likewise, like he has things as well that he likes, and I know that okay, I also need to do those things because he's picky about. So I think it's just a matter of like communication.
Just letting them know. What do you also, any other thing you want to tell us, Mommy Ruth, maybe how you would handle situations like that?
I think that there are some situations and there are some weaknesses that we all know that our spouses have that is really difficult to talk about. Because even if you talk about, it may not be the toilet part, but it may just be passing your shower after you finish bathing, or it may just be washing your plates. There's some things that you know that this person is really struggling with. The same you have on the other side, you have this other person that's really struggling, but I don't have that issue because I have somebody who is more disciplined than me, who is more organized than me. But then I think it gets to a point where when you know that this person is doing something that you don't like, make sure you touch something that they don't like. Not because not like it's confrontational. Okay, if I know that you keep doing something, you don't want me to put this bottle here, I'll make sure I always put that bottle there. Just so you understand how it looks, how I feel. Not because I want to put up a wall, not because it's confrontational. And then the moment you keep talking and you keep talking about, I told you not to put it there, then I'll say, okay, you see how it happened? You see how this thing is? That's the same way I feel about this. That's the same way you get to me when you do this. So please, could you now struggle to make sure that you don't do this? And then they get it.
Yeah.
They get it because everybody has that thing that turns them off so bad.
Yeah.
It turns them off. So everybody, we all have that thing. And if you don't really get it, I will just simply look at that nice thing that you don't like me to do. I'll just come and put the bottle there.
And then I'll also add that sometimes.
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead, Stella.
No, I was just gonna add that sometimes it's also saying it in a nice way, right? Or sometimes it could just be as a joke too. Like for example, if Ian uses like the toothpaste, if he takes it from like here, like he will not necessarily put it back there. It must always, for some reason, I don't know, it must always not go back to that space. So, and sometimes I'll watch him do it, and then I'll be like, this toothpaste like this, can you not just take it and put it back there? And he will start laughing, and when I keep doing that, and he realized, okay, I do it all the time, and we just laugh over it, but it kind of like sticks. It's not like I go yelling at him. Oh, this toothpaste, why can you not put it here? Why can you not put it here? Because like I lose him completely. But because I'll say like in a joking manner, I say, if you really put it back here, what is really going to happen? And he laughs and
that's a good one.
We have to be very careful to things like this because these are some of the little things, the small foxes that the devil uses to get into families, and you will think that it is some demon in your village or your village people, but you are the one who has taken your own hands to spoil your own marriage. Because after everything, you have to understand that your husband is the head, you are submitting to him, and you have to be humble, you have to be polite, you have to be respectful. There are some things that I no longer pray about because I understood that it did not take prayer. It did not necessarily need prayers. I just had to be able to know what to say, when to say it, and how to say it. So we should be very careful. Those things can be annoying, but I'm like, they didn't, it's not like somebody's taking off somebody's head. You can't cut your nose. You can't cut your nose to cure nose bleeding. It's just a toothpaste.
Yeah.
It's just a bottle.
It's
when you
just
look
a
at
toilet
it that
pot.
way, when you look at it that way, it's not going to take out that kind of energy. Before, those things used to make me bubble. But now I really look for what will make me bubble. I don't see, because I'm like, I know my place as the wife. I know that I am raising a girl child, that I want her to understand that it is important to know the way you're talking to your husband. You're an African woman, even though you were born in Canada, we were raised to respect. He's not only my husband, he's my elder brother, and then he is your father. So I want them to have this culture that, because whatever the way I would treat their father, that's how they're going to treat their partners. So we have to be very careful. It's just some things that we cry too much about. It's not much of a big deal. Seriously, it's not. So,
okay, I have two hands up before I will ask the last question. It's getting interesting. We have about 8 minutes. So I'm going to give it to Ndeme, and then after that, Sister Virginie. Ndeme, please go ahead.
Yeah, when we're talking about, what you like, what that is going to, that's in an ideal situation. And to be honest with you, we don't live in an ideal world. So what happens to like the 80% of marriages where the husband knows that this is a put up, but because of their person, their personality, they just cannot do. What do you, as a wife, do? Because see, you have husbands who are, like how you see some people are colorblind. That's blind. They do not see it. It's to today to tomorrow. They will not see it. So you think that, okay, because, when you do this thing I don't like, I will do that one thing that I don't like. Do that one thing. They will not even notice.
Yeah.
I know.
Of the day,
I know.
It's you. You either join them or a way to not allow those things to annoy you. So when you see the shoes, you just calmly pick it and put it where it's supposed to be. You come and meet the place where it's not supposed to be. You calmly pick it and put it where it's supposed to be. Because at the end of the day, they don't have it in them not to be like that. So I hope this helps a woman. Otherwise, you're going to live your entire life in bitterness, because you will find this. You will say, okay, I know that my husband doesn't like this. You will do that thing and he will not even notice that thing that you did was, you understand, was so that you wanted to draw his attention to something. Because that's their very personality, they don't have it.
Yeah.
They don't see it.
Yeah.
So on your part, do what you can do, right? Do the one that you can do. The one that you cannot do, you don't do. Right now, as we are talking, I was in our bathroom. I was just sipping my feeding, whatever, and I realized that our pot is dirty. I have come and put the blue thing on it, right? The expectation is that when he comes back from work tomorrow, if he wants to use that toilet pot, he will see that blue thing, then he'll clean it, right?
Yeah.
Don't come back with a testimony.
That's where you learn to pick your battles, right?
Exactly.
Just learn to pick your battles and not waste your energy on things you cannot control.
Right. That's right.
Focus on what you can control. Just arrange the things. Like there's nothing you can do. Whatever you can control. If you can arrange the shoes, if you can not only put the blue thing, but you wake up tomorrow morning before he comes back from work, you wash, you clean it, because you already know that he will not see it. You do it and life goes on. Like some things you do for yourself. Like if I'm cleaning for me because I want the space, irrespective of the other person. It's for me. So you're doing it for you, not necessarily for the other person.
Yeah.
And so I want to add something to that too. I wanted to also say that there are times when we should understand that there are some things that God will permit some people to keep doing it to us until the day we'll be able to overcome that challenge. For example, if you have anger issues, you will realize that there are some people who will keep doing some particular things to you. It's for you to say, I'm going to grow above this. It's for you to say, I'm not going to let this person get to me. It's you saying that, like Stella is saying, so you saying, I'm going to pick my battles. I'm not going to let little things like this get to me. I was that kind of person that I will lose my sleep because somebody didn't treat me right or didn't do something, or I told them to do something several times and they didn't do it. But trust me now, I don't lose sleep over that. And it doesn't even walk me up. But I think that there were too many things that had to happen repeatedly, that it had to, like, it was like ripple effect, one thing after the other, till you get it. So it's like you're in school. Until you pass class 1, you will not go to class 2. So if you want to keep staying on the same battles and fighting the same things you'll be fighting, me, 19 years, I can't talk about things I was talking about when I was 3 years old in my marriage. I've just decided that this one's is like Joshua Selman will say, there are some gatekeepers that you can't kill. The ones that you can't overcome, beg God that they will show you mercy. So I see it like, at that day, God gave me a revelation that if this man is saying that there are some gatekeepers that when you get into a city, there are some ones that you cannot bring down. So you will beg them to find favor in their sight. Because you can't overcome them. I'm like, this is the same. The Holy Spirit just dropped that's the same thing in your marriage. There are some things that you will not, by your power, change. Those things that you will not be able to change, you will ask God for grace. Just keep going. Your battles for your mental health and for your own peace. And tell yourself, I'm cleaning because I love cleaning. Like Stella said, I'm doing it because I need it to be like this for my own peace.
Yeah. That is so true. All right, I have 3 hands up. So please, let's take like a minute or so and do, because I still have one last question and we're at 58. So for those who have to leave at 10, you're okay. But I still have one very important question that I would like to throw out there. We might not finish that question today, but we will see how we can handle that. Yes, Sister Virginie, please go ahead.
Thank you, Sister Adeline, and thank you, Sister Ruth. I think some of the things you said, one of the things that I was going to say, most African women, I'm just going to say, most of us have anger issues. Most of the times, we just like shouting a lot. We just like getting mad. And some things, habits. The first thing, it starts from the onset. For me, I had my kids back in Cameroon. And for me, I was a little bit of the Stella type. Like, I was obsessed with cleanliness. You see my younger brother, who is now married and now in Canada, if you go to his house, his house is packed. He does everything. Because when he was living with me, I instilled that in my home. My kids shower twice a day. And I sent my son here for vacation with my sister here in Canada. When he came here, he was taking shower, even in the midst of winter. My sister would call me. I was like, what's happening? This child is bathing in the morning. I'm like, because from childhood, my house help. That's how I had a house help. That's how I trained. I was living with my sister-in-laws. I was living with my brother-in-laws. All of them knew the rules. And the one thing I would like to say is that we talk a lot. We African ladies, we like giving orders. We like control. The difference with me is that I used to take things in my hands. Like, if I put rules and I say, you have to do this person has to do this one, and I come back, nobody has done. Guess what? By the time you people get up 5 a.m., I used to that time 5 a.m. I've gotten up, I've cleaned the whole of that house, washed, dressed, ironed, done everything. So it put them in a certain position where people started getting stressed up. Like, imagine me, I was going to school, having a baby that I have to take care of, have my husband that I have to take care of, and all those things. Then you get up in the morning, you realize that I have done everything. Most of the time, we are talkers and we are not doers. If in your home you do those things, trust me, if you live with people, eventually they get to
align.
Eventually, and when it comes to spouses, most of the times women don't talk to them in a kind way. We just have to be honest with ourselves. Why you do that thing today? Thinking as so you get to do them. That's how I go to people's houses And that is how most women talk, unfortunately, whether we accept it or not. So we cannot expect spouses to, and sometimes people take it like they have this ego that I'm the man of the house. The moment you start saying that 1, 2, 3 times, it starts becoming as if you are controlling him, and he starts acting in a defensive manner. He doesn't listen to what you're saying. And that thing that you're complaining about, my friend, you will come and you will see it repeatedly, because the manner in which you are using to communicate the way you want that change is not the good manner. And sometimes when you are communicating, what are you doing? You are doing it even in front of the kids. So what happens is that they start uncomfortable. So the only thing I'm going to advise is, if you want to be somebody that wants places that way, you want to be an example, you start inculcating those habits in kids when they are still young. And as they grow older, for me now, I have older kids. The other day when I went to the basement, I bought a house. I noticed that they've sat by the PlayStation, they've scratched the wall. And I called my son, I'm like, you know what? You are an adult, you are this, you are adult. If this is how it's going to work, you both are going to find a place and you rent, and I'm going to rent your rooms, and I will live in my house, and I'll have cups. So you have to choose. How are we going about this? This is what you've done. What is the process? No more PlayStation. I took the controllers. I said, I know you are big boys, but since you want to behave like younger guys, I'm taking the PlayStation. And guess what? The next day when I came, they took their money, they bought paint, they bought a brush, they scrapped that place, they tidied it. I came back, the wall was all clean. So it's how you communicate. So now what I tell my son, each time he does something, I'm like, you are already getting to this age, you're going to be a father. What is it that you are going to tell your kids? If your child behaves like you, what now? I want you to be behaving as if like the child that you're having the next 5 years.
Exactly.
So I'm going to say the most important thing, whether it's with our kids or with our spouse or whoever we live in, because sometimes it's even people that come and live with us, is the manner in which we communicate. Let's be patient with people and let's know how to communicate of those things.
Wow, thank you. Thank you. That is a really good one. It's true. Sometimes because when you just come, you see things disorganized, you're already upset and you begin to communicate that anger. That's so true. Sister Marilyn, please go ahead.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. Thank you so much. I wanted to say hi to the yummy mommies that came to teach us how this thing is done. And I want to say that I picked up a whole lot from here, which is really, really encouraging, because sometimes we think we have to do it only in marriage, but I'm going to speak from a point where I am not married. And like Stella said, it starts with you. You have to do it for you. And you have to do it knowing that you are raising people. I don't call this children, we have kids. You are raising young adults that should not only hear what you say, but copy what you do.
Exactly.
Ruth, you've been to my house. I am somebody that has a lot of stuff when I want to keep them. And just like you said that your orderliness came from a godly point of view because you're an intercessor. There was a time on this platform where I said, God is telling me to declutter my closet. It was not me that wanted to give away my things. It was God that forced me to give away my things. Because for those who know me, I can have 1,000 pair of jeans and wear 2. I can wear 2 for 1 year, but I have 1,000 pair.
True. Yeah.
And I will fold them, but I will take 1 second to disorganize them. So when I was by myself, I was comfortable being by myself and doing that. No man to see it, no child to see it. When I was with my late husband, he was more of an organizer than me. So he treated me like his daughter over his girlfriend or wife. So he did the cleaning and organization. But when I had a kid, unfortunately, there was no other person to support me after the kid turned 8 months. So it became a struggle for me. My upbringing was not a very organized upbringing because I went from home to home to home to home. And I was always the youngest in each of the homes that I went to. So I could slide easily for others to do it and I not do it.
Yeah.
But there are some things I will not apologize for there are some things I'll apologize for. But when you're raising these young humans that are also very bitter little humans because they come without a manual, you have to be able to trigger some things in them that will help them down the road and that can help you stay sane.
Yeah.
Like you all have said, we have to do it for us first. I had to learn in motherhood to do it for me first. Some of us women, we think our children are a replacement of us. Give me water, give me spoon, pick that thing, put that in. You see, those things are things that I normally did. My remote will be 2 meters away, for 2 small drops away from me. I will yell for people from the room to come and give me the remote. So what am I telling him? He can do this as well. So I don't take responsibility. I teach them not to take responsibility. I started seeing me in my child. I will come back from work. I will drop my backpack at the entrance. Hey, what you do in moderation, eh?
They will do in
Your child will copy in excess. My child will now leave his backpack by the door. And every day you think that yelling that take your backpack. No, he had learned from your silent actions. And he has learned from seeing you do it. They learn in 2 ways. So what I started doing is taking that backpack to his room every day and making sure that I don't leave my backpack. Shoe by the entrance. I don't leave more than 3 shoes by the entrance, so because he will put 6 shoes. So I have to, if I cannot even bear to take that shoe, I'll just go remove my shoe. I'll remove my shoe and pick it and go keep it in my room so he doesn't see it by the entrance.
Yeah.
So you have to know how to treat those little things. Sometimes it is not about the way we rule. It is about how they see us rule.
Yeah.
They see it from their perspective. We do it from our perspective. Like Mommy Ruth will tell BJ, you don't know who be your mommy. May my really reach for the place. There is a way you look at them out of the house, they adjust.
Yeah.
But there is a day, no matter how you look at them, they will not adjust. Because it is not written on stone. I sent my son to my friend to my friend's house for holiday for a month. And I really wanted feedback because to me, that was a trial to see how far I've gone. The feedback was amazing. And I'm like, God, not be Tabby do the one. Because at some point, I would just shut off my phone and not call you because I'm afraid that you'll give me a negative report.
Yeah.
Because all what I will tell my child is, you think you're doing it for me? No, you're not doing it for me because someday I will not be here.
Yeah.
And people will see what I have been teaching you. They will not see. They will see what I have not been teaching you because they will read it from your behavior. But maybe your behavior is not completely what I have been saying because you also have your own behavior. So like Sister Virginie said, we come from a place where sometimes it's not even anger. It is second nature to yell for Africans. It's second nature. You're not angry, but you think that to put it that way because we were raised by authoritarian parents.
Exactly.
The majority of our parents were war for war, which is military.
Yeah.
So we picked it and we're unconsciously doing these things. And some of us think that our spouses are our first kids. Some of the mother-in-laws did amazing to raise their girls and their boys. We should take a step back as mothers. If my husband was raised this nicely, how should I raise my sons?
Yeah.
As women, sometimes we're the one to pass it on to our husbands that I was raised like this, I was raised like this for them to understand you.
Yeah.
I have failed in so many aspects that I have started learning to know that it is not about them. If 50 people complain about me, they may all be wrong, but there's something about me that exudes that energy for the 50 of them to complain.
Yeah.
So I have to take my own responsibility to be able to grow and to be able to learn and to be able to pass it forward. It took me a long time to understand that God hates disorder. because I will just amass these things. I am comfortable in my clothes. Even if it is size 2, I am size 16. I know the gear, I'm out.
Yeah. You're waiting
But
to
I
get
had
them.
to carry stuff that I really like. And there is this one thing for us African women. I go send them for Cameroon. If you not get this, I go send them for Cameroon and you walk. I live in London, Ontario. These people here don't ship to Cameroon. So I go send them for Cameroon can give me 10 barrels for 10 years. So let us be able to pray and ask God to help us release the things we no longer need.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In our personal lives, in our spiritual lives, in cleaning our homes, in doing our jobs and everything. Because to me, I carried those, and those are the little foxes that were in my vineyard. It got me very stagnant for a long time.
Yeah.
So thank you, sisters, for this topic. I learned a lot. God bless my yummy mummies. Thank you all.
Thank you. Thank you, Tabby. Beautiful. Yeah, you've done a beautiful job with your son. That is good. And that's an example that you can even be a single mother and still raise a good kid. A good kid. Yeah. It's another topic. It's a topic for another day. Sister Vero, okay, I'm gonna give you a minute and you speak. We are way more above our time, so please.
No, I'm just gonna be quick. Thank you so much, Sister Ruth. Thank you so much, Sister Stella. I know if we keep this room open, we're gonna stay here till 12 a.m.
Yeah.
It's a very interesting topic. Yeah, it's a very, very interesting topic. Yeah. Yeah, like what I picked this night, from what Sister Stella said, a clean house change your mood. That one I key into it like 100%. I'm that kind of a person. As soon as I enter the house, if it's disorganized, trust me, it just changed my mood. Yeah. So I just want to thank you guys so much for this topic tonight. It's something that we are all learning. Yeah, nobody can say we know it or we are still learning.
Yeah.
Like I have my small madam here. Sometimes I enter her room, I'm like, what is this? You have to clean your room, you know. Sometimes we just have to keep telling them.
Yeah.
We just have to keep talking. We're not gonna get tired because the moment you relax, they too relax. We just have to keep talking. Like Samuel said, in a nice way. Don't, because sometimes shouting not gonna help. And sometimes we can even promise them. Yeah, we can even promise them, if you clean your room, I'm gonna take you out, I'm gonna do this for you. It just, like just make their day, You're not threatening them. It's like I said, it's a practice. Because when they clean it, they feel good and you too feel good. Yeah, so to me it's something that we just need to keep talking. We should not get tired. Like sometimes my little one, the 7-year-old, we just come out from school, going to take a bath or take a shower, just drop the clothes on the floor and bam, enter and come. I'm like, no, you have to go pick it and put it in the laundry basket. You don't leave clothes on the floor. Those little things, we just have to keep talking to them. It's practice. Like I said, it's practice.
Yeah.
Like little beginnings, we just have to keep talking and talking, like Samuel said, in a nice way. You know what I mean? Yeah. Sometimes we go out of it, we shout, we scream, we yell, but sometimes calm down, just talk to them in a nice way and they will listen. They're still growing. But if you have, like Mama B was saying about, like, you have the bigger ones, that you don't even think of giving them any tips. Like, just bring it out to them. Like Sister Virginie said, if tomorrow you were to become a parent, how are you going to treat your own kids? Just, to me, just talk to them in a nice way. They reason with you and you reason with them. And thank you so much, sisters. We're all learning. Thank you. It was a very
so much.
interesting one.
Thank you. I'm gonna give it to the ladies for just one last, like, a minute of closing as we round up. But I had a second question, and also I liked what Marilyn said about how if you do something in moderation, just know that your kids are going to exaggerate it. Like, if you cannot be coming home and keeping your shoes, 1, 2, 3 pairs of shoes at the door, and then you expect that your kids will take theirs into the room. They will do what they see you do. So that is the best way, by just leading by example. Because if you keep, and that spoke to me because my shoes are always at the door. So imagine that I had kids, they will also keep theirs, then there will be no space. Imagine that you have 4 kids leaving their shoes at the door. It will be like the door of a mosque. You understand? So yeah, I'm gonna throw one question out and that we should take home and then meditate on it, find answers, and then come back maybe some other time, because we're way more above our time. And this question I was going to ask about our spouses. you know how we differ in different things that we love and little things that we like. Now, if you're one of those girls that you like to be clean and all of that, what if you are somebody that likes to take your shower in the evening before you go to bed, and then you go meet a spouse that did not shower, that wants to, make love to you, and they've not showered? What would you do about that? Are you going to chase him from the bed, say, go and shower? Are you going to refuse having that moment with him? So that's the one last question I want these two girls to answer before we go. And I would have loved them to answer this question for me. What would you do? Because
it's not happening. You must shower. What I do for morning, if we are doing the afternoon, you have to shower. There's no argument about that.
Oh,
they can I go talk say 19. You know you would leave the smell for you. Leave it.
Oh God. Oh God, but this is a good topic that I would want us to talk about.
Can we go off camera? Can we go off live for this question?
We're gonna go off.
For short records, some of we